this little clip will make a whole lot more sense in just a minute. But first, we need to back up just a little bit. So, yeah, two reasons why I think that the phone, whether Android, iPhone, doesn't make any difference. It's a good place to start learning photography. One's technical and the other one's theoretical, and I'll get to that one in a minute. But the technical one is basically how it eliminates one of the three variables that stems from the tool that most people online, whether it's YouTube or wherever, think that the holy grail of learning photography, you have to know this, is the exposure triangle. Basically, to me, the exposure triangle, if you Google it online, there's 1,000 variations, and some seem like they're just trying to make it way more complicated to show how smart they are. I don't know, but it doesn't it doesn't need to be that complicated. And the reason it doesn't need to be that complicated is because, without getting into all the weeds of, the exposure triangle and whatever, just because I don't think it's worthy of it. Um, I learned photography before there was even such a thing. Yeah. Um, the photographic triangle, as it was originally named, didn't even come out until 1990 by a guy named Brian. Cool name. Brian Peterson, when in his book called Understanding Exposure. My bad. We all learned photography way before. You don't need it. And to me, it doesn't even make sense because when Brian said it in the exposure triangle, he just said triangle. I'm sure just because it had three sides. He didn't mean it as like equal sides because in his original book, he didn't include any graphics that would say all are equal sides because they're not equal. They're not even close to being equal. And the way that I see it is how you should learn it is each individual element should be looked at individually versus as a group. Because when you look at things like that as a group, it's just complicated and hard, and there's no need to do that. But a phone automatically, yes, I understand. Some new phones will let you change aperture, they will let you do a little bit, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, normal phones. And your aperture's fixed. It is what it is, and that's cool. Let it be there. We can focus on shutter speed, and then next we're going to focus on ISO, but just let ISO be auto, and we're going to talk about shutter speed and how shutter speed allows you to be the most creative you can be because shutter speed does two things. Basically, it controls light and it controls motion. Faster shutter speed, less light, freezes, sharp, sharp. Then you use a slower shutter speed and you get a little bit of blur, you get a little bit more and a lot more light. That's it. Simple enough. Let's break it down. And it's if you look at this coin. If I thump it and it goes, and we're just rolling out 4,000 of a second, it freezes it like it just frozen. Sharp, super sharp. And we slow it down, blur, blur, blur. You're allowed to get as creative as you want to be. And that's what that's all about, is just letting that shutter speed, you determine what your image is going to be. Whether it's, super sharp, super frozen, action, frozen, or you want to show a little bit of action by creating some movement by letting it blur. That's what we're going to get into. And that's what's the cool thing about shutter speed is it allows you to be as creative as you want to be. For a phone, most of them, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, most of the native apps won't let you change your shutter speed. So it requires a third party, whatever. I pretty much tried them all. From paid versions to free versions, and I wanted to try and find one that was free and available both on the iPhone and Android so we could all talk the same thing if you didn't have a favorite. If you currently use something and you like it, let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it. Hey, the other people might like it too. But Lightroom is just free, it's easy, it's simple. But here's a 1 second version of it. And basically, you have your app, open it up, go down to where it says auto and at the bottom and just click on pro. and then you're able to select shutter speed, and you can just drag that little thing. And as you see, as you drag it to the right, you let more light in, you drag it to the left, but that's just changing shutter speed. Shutter speed's up at the top, and that's pretty much it. That's good enough for now, and we just play with it and go from there. All right, cool. Before I tell you my second reason of why I think the phone is the best way to start or continue your journey in photography, is I wanted to share a couple of images that I took using a very fast shutter speed to a very slow shutter speed, everything from a phone to a point and shoot to a full frame. And we'll just show you why, and I can guarantee you it'll make more sense when I tell you the second reason. So, anyway, I hope you enjoy them, and let's see what we got. Starting off very fast, it's just great for capturing extreme action. 2,000 of a second will catch just about everything you need. Dropping down to 1,500 is going to get walking and normal movement. You want just a little bit of movement? 125 works. 130 works great for panning. And then as you go through, you'll see that you slow it down a little bit, quarter panning. If you want to see some more in depth on these, happy to make them for you because I enjoy doing them. And as we get longer to 15 seconds, those are great for light trails, smoothing out the ocean at 30 seconds, and just the way things work. The second reason that I think that the phone works for just learning and as you move along through your progress is because it comes from all of the people, particularly on YouTube, that say this is the best camera of 2025, or this is the camera that you need. How do they know that? Do they know you? No, they don't. And what I'd like to do is create a community where we learn together what you need. If you need anything, and this may be all you need is a phone, and that's fine. But we got point and shoots. This camera right here, one of my most favorite cameras of all time, 2012, I think. And I'll throw a video up here and a link down below that's a little short video that shows what this camera can do. It's awesome. I like it. Different point and shoots. We got small Canons. I've used pretty much all of them. We got APS-Cs, we got full frames. And just there's so many people on YouTube that just say, this is what you need, this is the best camera. That's all a load of Shinto. And I'm sorry to say it, but it is because they don't know you. They don't know what you like to shoot. They don't know how you shoot. They don't even know what you want to shoot. So let's figure it out together. I've also created a school community that I hope that we can, I'd love to share some images, more mine, but a place for you to share yours, with the community, get some feedback. Don't be scared because I'm not going to throw it. It's not public. It's going to be a private group and we're all going to be supportive. And if we're not supportive, then you're not going to be in the group. So it's pretty simple. So welcome, the link below. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel yet, I'm going to try and put out at least a new video every week, if not a few shorts along the way. Your subscription is free today, and I always appreciate it. But, down the road, if you feel like you're getting some stuff out of this, want to share a coffee with me? Gratitude. Anyway, until next time, just remember one thing. It's always a lot more fun to create than compare. See ya.